In this video, I'm going to compare the digital filter of the Octatrack Mark II with the analog filter of the Rytm Mark II. Let's do it. Bang, bang. How's it going, everybody? You know who it is. My name is Sun Woo and I make beats. And as you already heard, we are going to compare the filters of these two units. First, a quick word about the setup. I am not running the audio via overbridge. I'm going via the main outs, which I am also doing on the Octatrack, of course. I have sampled the sample directly via the audio ins of both units before. I tried to sample at the same volume and I didn't want to have any problems while converting the samples for both units, as they use different sample rates, if I am correct. So I sampled directly into each unit and normalized the sample and tried to get them level matched in my DAW in order for you to hear the sound at the same volume and not be tricked by different volume levels. So I hope that's working out. And now I'm going to play the samples on both units. First, without any filter applied. We'll always start with the Octatrack and then switch over to the Rytm. Okay, next sample. And next one. And the last one. All right, so these are our samples. Now let's go to another Octatrack track right here. And as you can see, so this is our filter, and I turned the width down to 90, and I have done the same on this row of samples. So I just copied them over here and turned the filter frequency down to 90 while using a low pass filter. And I'm sorry, I will have to turn this to low pass 1. Okay, because I have the low pass and high pass slope of 12 dB selected on the Octatrack as well, meaning the slope of the filter is not as steep. So let's go with the less steep slope first and listen to that. If we have set the frequency to 90 on both devices. All right, straight away we can hear the sound on the Octatrack is a lot more muffled. Maybe I will have to adjust the frequency a little bit. I will turn it even lower to 70 on each of the samples and see the difference then. Okay. I know this is a bit of a nerdy video, but if you're interested in the differences, then maybe you'll enjoy it. On the drum loop, it sounds very similar. Sounds a little different. Somehow I feel like I hear less bass on here than I do on the Octatrack. But I hear more highs here than I do there. But don't trust me, I'm no audiophile by a long shot. No. Yeah, so okay, next let's check out the resonance of the filter. I'm gonna do this by first maybe turning the resonance up to 30 on both devices, and then applying an LFO to the resonance so I can have a equal sweep on both devices so we can better compare them. So let's apply an LFO. You can hear it sounds a lot different. Let's see what it sounds like on the drums. And you can hear there's a lot more spice in the resonance on the analog Rytm compared to what's on the Octatrack. Let's hear the next sample. Okay, and the last sample. Let's hear it one more time. Yeah, from what I hear, I certainly prefer the sound of the Rytm right now, but let's see, maybe let's take it a little more extreme. First of all, we're gonna try out what it sounds like if we change the filter slope a little bit and make it steeper. Okay, so now we are using a different filter slope. We are using a steeper slope, and same here, we are using the steeper slope of the low pass filter. I have turned the LFO off. We are still on the frequency or the width of 90 on the Octatrack and a frequency of 70 here. And the resonance is turned up to 30 on both devices. And now let's compare the samples again. Okay, because they sounded so different, I turned the resonance on both devices down again and tried to get them to where the filter cutoff sounds similar. So now I'm on 75 here, whereas I'm still on 90 here. And they sound very similar now. So now I'm gonna copy this filter setting again to my other tracks here. And I am now going to crank up the resonance a little bit to, let's say, 30 again, why not? 30 again, okay. now let's hear it all again. And you immediately can tell the resonance on the rhythm is sounding a lot more strongly. I don't know how else to describe it. You can hear the resonance a lot more on this device. All right, next sample. Alright, as you can hear, there's a big difference now in terms of sound of the filters between the two units. For now, let's move on to the high-pass filter, and then afterwards we're gonna do some general filter sweeping between both units and see what other kind of sounds we can crank out of the filters. Alright, so first of all, I will turn my width all the way up, and let's now put the high pass filter, which is the bass frequency here, to how about 45? And I will put the steep slope on the high pass filter on the Octatrack, and I will do the same kind of thing here. I'm going to have the steeper high pass filter, and I will turn the frequency also to 45 and see how they match up. Okay, let's just play the samples again. Again, the resonance is very strong in this one. No pun intended. And next one. So, as you can hear, there's quite a big difference between the analog Rytm and the Octatrack in terms of filter sound, and I think there's something to be said for the analog magic that happens in the Rytm and that happens to your samples. I quite like it, but it certainly does color your sound, whereas I have a feeling that the Octatrack provides the cleaner sound, which is funny because many people criticize the Octatrack for coloring your sound in a bad way, whereas I think it actually doesn't color your sound very much. Pretty much what you put in comes out again. So the Rytm actually colors your sound, but I would say it does color it in a nice way. So if you like that, maybe that's a unit you want to have a look at. Yeah, there's nothing much more I can say. Now I'm just gonna play around with the filters a little more and show you how they react to different knob movements and such. Let's start with the drum break again. We're still on the high pass filter with a steep slope. Let's add a little bass using the high pass filter with a low frequency and a lot of resonance. Let's try the same thing on the Rytm. First a little sweep. As you can hear, the sweep sounds totally different. Again, let's go back to the Octatrack and compare them. And it's worth to note that on the Octatrack the resonance is cranked up to 105 already, whereas on the Rytm it's only at 62, so we got a long way to go. Let's crank it up a bit more. And now it starts to self-resonate. Alright, next sample, let's play with this one. And let's do the same here, just playing with the frequency and resonance again. Now I want to try this one thing out. I felt like it's a lot more detailed when it comes to the really high frequencies, when only those are left. So I want to try to compare that with the Octatrack now. All right, now on the Octa. Maybe the curve is not as steep, I'm not sure, but I like what I hear from the Rytm better on this one. Anyway, sounds quite different, as you can tell. How about we also check out the high pass filter with the more gentle slope, just for fun. Okay, so let's start setting them. Setting this one to 50 and this one, so this one to 50, this one to 60, because this one seems to always need to be set a little lower. Turn off the resonance for now, and now we're gonna play with this sample. And now let's try it here. Actually, I find it very difficult to find adjectives to describe the sound of the filters of the Rytm, because earlier I know I said somewhat it sounds muddied, but at the same time they also sound sparkly. And I know that seems contradictory, but that's what it feels like to me. I think they somehow put a blanket over the sound, but at the same time tickle out really nice frequencies and some sparkle in the sound. Whereas the Octatrack, I would say the filters are functional and they are easy to use, but if you're not going into the distortion, then I would say they are quite clean and simple and don't bring any flavor to your sound, if that makes sense. I think I don't have much tape left on the camera, but of course there's something important to mention here, that there is a band reject filter and a peak filter on here, which is something we don't have on the Octatrack. But there's also a band pass, which we got in the Octatrack as well, which we can access if we turn the width down. As the width and the bass are connected, we now also have a band pass filter here. Let's try that out real quick. And now here. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that, and I would like to ask you, which sound do you prefer? Do you maybe have both of these units? And if so, which unit do you prefer? Which one do you use more often? Let me know down in the comments. And other than that, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you want to see more. And I think I will make some more videos about comparing these two devices in terms of their effects maybe and their slicing capabilities and such. So I hope to see you for those videos. Until then, have a great time. Peace.